Champions, let me ask you this. Are you waiting for someone just to hand you ice time, leadership roles, or success? Or are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to do what others aren't willing to do? Well, tune in because today's show, we're diving in on helping to develop that champion's mindset to help you get that ice time, those leadership roles, success, or anything else you want in life. But you got to be willing to do the work. Are you ready to break through any barrier or limiting belief holding you back? Ready to embrace your full potential and achieve your greatest success? Ready to get noticed and become the champion you were born to be? Then buckle up, because you've come to the right place. Greetings, champions, and welcome to the Real Rich Grogan Warrior Confidence Hockey Podcast, where we're unleashing champions both on and off the ice. I'm your host, Master Coach Rich Grogan, and I'm truly grateful you're here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, as a reminder, my whole mission, purpose, goal, everything I'm trying to do here is to empower you with the warrior confidence, to believe in yourself, to stand out from the crowd, to do the things that others aren't willing to do. To get what? Anything you want in life, whether it be ice time, leadership roles, success. It's the how to get what you want by, and here you go. It's actually simpler than you may think. It's simply doing the things that others aren't willing to do. And I hear this all the time. It's probably the number one question I get. So I like to answer right off the bat. People say, well, man, if it's so darn simple, why can't I get it? Well, I don't know. Because here's the answer. What's easy and simple to do is also easy and simple not to do. You got to be willing to put in the work. And that's, unfortunately, that's where a lot of people get hung up. A lot of times it's easier to play the victim card. It's easier to think you're entitled. You know, my grandma once told me, Richie, the only thing you're entitled to is a butt whipping. Woo! Wham! My grandma was the original right hook reality. I don't even remember what I said thinking back. I came back from a friend's house or who knows what, or a city boy, as my grandma and my dad used to call it. I grew up on a farm. For those that don't know, or those that don't know, was fairly poor, didn't have a lot. Chance to go to the city kids and found out, man, these kids are privileged. They don't have chores. They don't have to take out the trash. Here, I got to shovel horse poop, bale hay, milk a cow. What the heck? So anyway, grandma lit me up with the right hook reality. I came home and said something. I don't remember what it was, but she let me know the only thing I was entitled to was a butt whipping. Woo! You know somebody you need to share that with? I thought so. All right, well, hey, this is episode number 390, man. We're closing in on 400, believe it or not. And I titled this episode this is part of our January, Just Do It January theme. And we titled this one, Stop Waiting for Ice Time and Success to Come to You. The champion's mindset on how to earn it. And yeah, I said that key phrase there, earn it. Earn it. Nothing, we're not given anything in life. And if you go around playing that victim's mindset, that victim card, that I'm entitled card, yeah, it may get you somewhere for a little while, but sooner or later, wham, right hook of reality of life is going to kick in and drop you, man. It truly is. And that's our right hook of reality today, is blaming the coach, blaming the referees, blaming your teammates, blaming others, instead of blaming the only one that's responsible for you. And who is that? That's the person you see in the mirror. That's the only person you can change. That's the only person you have control over. Now, I'll tell you, I do have a hard time with that. I've had a hard time in the past with that. And what I mean by that is it's easy in today's culture, in today's society, to point fingers at others. I'm not achieving success because of him or her, or I'm not achieving success because this person did me wrong. Now, I'm not naive to the fact there are a lot of people out there that will do you wrong. I've been done wrong, more times than I care to count. But if I wallow in that self-pity, if I wallow in trying to get back at that person, then that's where my focus goes. And where your focus goes, your energy flows, man. So if you're focusing on the negative, you're focusing on all the times you've been taken advantage of, you're focusing on all the people that may have done you wrong, or you're focusing on what's not right in the world, or you're focusing on what you're entitled to, you're certainly not focusing on what you can do to better yourself, because it all starts with you right there. Now, for our new listeners, you're probably saying, what the heck am I listening to this for? I'm not here to get chastised. Look, I'm just talking to you the same way I talk to the players in the locker room. So if this helps you, and I'm hopeful it does, or what I really like, if you can share this with your athlete or share this with your team, your players, to help motivate and inspire them. Because I'm basically saying, well, usually what other parents and coaches want to say to their kids or are already saying to their kids, they're just flat out listening to. And I'm also saying the things that my mentors to this day still pop me in the chops with. So, do I have it all figured out? No. Am I better today than I was yesterday? Yeah. Am I better today than I was 5, 10, 20 years ago? Absolutely. Why? Because I chose to learn from those mistakes, chose to learn from those errors, chose to move forward. And it all starts with humility. I got to admit that all I know is I know nothing. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to say, gosh darn it, I messed up. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. But you got to be willing to take that step. Now, my whole goal is to share with you experiences, lessons, things that I've learned over the years, things that I've spent literally in the past 10, 12 years. I bet I've spent over $100,000 just on self-development, personal development, self-help to try and be a better person. I never, ever, my wildest dreams would ever imagine spending a fraction of that in the past. But all I know is there's others out there that know a heck of a lot more than I do. I'm wanting to learn from them. That way I can continue to educate myself. Self-education, a word I'd never heard of 20 years ago, in order to help pass this message on. Because this is my gift. This is my purpose. I enjoy doing these videos. I enjoy doing this podcast. I enjoy talking to hockey teams, hockey organizations, to parents, and inspiring. And the reason I've niched everything down, because people ask all the time, hey, weren't you that karate guy for a while? Well, I'm still that karate guy, if you will. I've been in martial arts 40 plus years, but hockey was my first love. Started that at the age of 5, 1975, 2 or 3 years ago, right? Woo, that was a few decades ago. A lot of decades ago now I think about it. But anyway, that was my first love. And I always dreamed of playing in the NHL like every other kid growing up. You see my Micah Ruzioni, Miracle on Ice jersey back there. And of course, today is a glorious day as well. Celebrating. Yay! And, well, you know why. Anyway, my whole point of all this is hockey was my first love. And martial arts, I grew up loving Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. And I was, really small kid. I was bullied a lot because I didn't believe in myself. Matter of fact, my first book, Becoming Bully Proof over there, I'd like to say Amazon, a new release bestseller. Yes. It was all about me as a kid, meeting me 40-something years later as an adult, where the older me is teaching the younger me everything I wish I would have known about believing in myself. Yeah. So what am I doing now? I'm continuously, everything I'm learning, I'm just trying to pass on. Why? I'm trying to create better future leaders, those that stand out, lead from the front, those that may not be the most gifted, talented athletes in the world. I sure as heck never was. I certainly wasn't the biggest, tallest, strongest, fastest, but I gave it all I got. I had that Rudy work ethic, that attitude of excellence, that mindset of a champion, that heart of a warrior. I like to say that work ethic of an underdog champion. And that's what I had. That's what I still got today. That's why when I see athletes that maybe aren't the most talented, aren't the most gifted, but gosh darn it, they got the right desire. They got the right passion. They got the right grit. They got the right resilience. They got that. I don't care how many times I'm getting knocked down. I'm getting back up. I'm fighting another round. I'm not giving up because I want something. And unfortunately, that's a rare commodity nowadays. So that's who my message is for. That's for you right there. You've probably been knocked down. You've been hit with right hooks of reality. And I like to say left uppercuts of truth, but you refuse to give up. You get back up and say, is that it? Come on, hit me again. Is that it? And that's kind of what the whole Warrior Confidence brand is all about. It's not a matter of if, but when life kicks you in the teeth. A matter of not if, but when life knocks you down. And as Rocky says, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Doesn't mean we don't have good days, man. We got to hopefully you have a lot of good days. And I tell you what, each day you get back up after being knocked down, you have won that day because you refuse to stay down. You refuse to lay there. You refuse to give up. You refuse to say, I'm a victim. I'm entitled. No, that ain't you. Oh, you are the best you can be today because you're a better you today than you were yesterday. You like that? And guess what? Tomorrow, and if you need to listen to this again, I always encourage you to listen more than once because you're always going to pick up something that you missed the first time. Why? Because wherever you're at today is a higher level of learning than you were yesterday. And also, who knows what kind of day you've had. Maybe you had a great day. So, man, you're picking up on all positive vibes. You're really coming at strong. Maybe you're not having the best day. So you need that little extra boost to get you back up to where you want to be. Now, people say all the time, man, that motivation crap, it doesn't last at all. It just wears off. You're right. It does. Motivation does not last. I'm not going to lie to you. But guess what? Neither's bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Your daily motivation, baby, to keep you going, to keep you moving. And I like to say, because people say, oh, you're a motivational speaker. You're an inspirational speaker. I like to say I'm an empowerment coach, a transformational leader. I'm trying to transfer you into where you are now to where you want to be. It's almost like you're on, there's a like a moat or a river. You're over here. You want to get over here to get to the best person you can be. But what's in the middle? That's that gap. So I want to help mentor you across that bridge, across that moat to get over to the other side. And guess what? When you get there, does that mean the journey's over? Heck no. Why? Because now you're going to start going to the next level, the next level, next level to continue to grow, to be the very best you can be. That's why I continue to have a mentor to this day, continue to pay all the money in order to gain knowledge, because there's always someone who knows a little bit more. And if you're willing to be humble enough to learn, you're going to continue growing. One of the worst things, I like to say, up until, 2012, I was 42 years old at the time. Kind of do the math, figure out how old I am. I'll be double nickel this year, 55. Up until 2012, I didn't know I could read, simply because I chose not to. I thought, hey, I'm 42. What the heck am I going to learn? That was terrible. But my core group of influences, the people I surrounded myself with the most, they were just, I don't want to say I was doing better than anybody else. I was moving along, doing all right. But none of them did that thing called self-educate. They weren't continuously learning and growing. Then I started surrounding myself with a different group of people, or I started saying, you know what? There's more out there. There's got to be more. And I found out one thing all the successful people had in common. They self-educate. They were continuously reading, learning, growing, going to conferences, seminars, continuously learning. Now, I say this and mention this to teenage athletes all the time. Don't shut it down just because you get out of high school. Even if you go to college or whatever you choose to do, continue to better you, to be the best person you can be. My whole goal, like I mentioned, is to help you stand out from the crowd, to be the leader, the hero, the champion, the mentor that you were born to be. But I can't do it for you. Good? All right. So as I mentioned, this is episode number 390, and it's Stop Waiting for Ice Time and Success. Oh, I kind of back up a little bit. The reason I focused and niched everything into hockey, but the message, and I've spoke to entrepreneurs, obviously martial arts groups, to leaders, to executives, but I chose to focus solely on hockey players, parents, teams, coaches, and organizations, because it's my love. And I'm taking everything I've got here because there's thousands of coaches, hockey coaches, that specialize in helping you skate faster, shoot harder. And that's great. Well, my thing is to help develop that mindset. But that mindset starts with that warrior confidence, that belief in yourself, to push yourself outside your comfort zone. And that warrior confidence is not a matter of if, but when life knocks me down. I know it's going to. I know I'm going to experience failures and setbacks. But gosh darn it, I've got that warrior heart, that warrior confidence to keep moving forward, to be my very, very best. So with that warrior confidence, with that champion's mindset, with that attitude of excellence, that's going to help you in all other areas of life. Because if you got that, it's going to help push you forward to work harder. When you're coached, that helps on your edge work, helps on your cuts, your speed. It's going to push you to put in that extra work that others aren't willing to do. That coach is going to help you on your shooting, your stick handling, your passing. Why? You're going to be willing to have that mindset, that attitude, that effort to put in the extra work that others aren't willing to do. And that's what's going to help you stand out from the crowd. So that's my specialty, and that's why I'm focusing on it. And I guess the biggest reason, I connect with hockey players, parents, coaches, and organizations and teams better than any other area I've ever tried to connect with, because it's the heart of who I am. And I like to think hockey is the ultimate underdog sport, right? I mean, hockey's always try and fight, scrap, claw, bite for that marketing share, for that TV rights. Out of the four major sports, baseball, football, basketball, hockey's almost like that underdog. It's got the grittiest, hardest working players. The players that are out there with all heart. They're blocking shots, getting hit in the face with the puck, getting in fights, getting stitched up, coming back out, not missing a shift. That's integrity for the game, man. You got basketball players flopping around. I don't even mention soccer, flopping around like they've been shot with a dang bazooka when a gust of wind comes by. That's not integrity. But hockey players, man. Woo, are you getting goosebumps? I've got some goosebumps flowing here. All right, I have to tell you. Well, let's get on with the show here. That right hook of reality, boom, I like to start every show off talking about that, even though we've been kind of into it for a few minutes now. It's all about, look, man, in order for you to become the champion, the leader, the hero you were born to be, in order for you to get the ice time, the leadership roles, the success in any capacity that you want, you can't be pointing fingers at others. You've got to own it, baby. And no, it's not easy. And I tell you, it's probably one of the most bitter pills you'll have to take. But get used to taking it, because that's what's going to help you stand out from the crowd and get exactly what you want. Now, does this mean every single one of you are going to play college hockey or D3, 2, or 1 hockey, or play juniors or make it to the NHL? No, I'm not going to lie to you. But here's my promise. I promise you're going to play at a much higher level than maybe your natural athletic ability would have allowed you otherwise. That's why, I almost every team I played on, I wore the A or the C. Almost every team I played on, once I kind of learned this secret I'm going to share with you, it's not really a big secret. I got more ice time than my small frame, small stature, and I had some athletic ability, but I certainly was never the most talented on any team I played on. But it was my grit, my resilience, my passion, my attitude, my determination. I was out there and the coach was like, my gosh, I cannot not play this guy. He's willing to sacrifice his body. He's willing to do everything he can. He's willing to take on the biggest players on the opposing team. He's willing to outwork them in the corner, outwork them in front of the net, and make things happen. Nothing special. Hard work, an attitude of excellence. And something I shared, I don't know how many different podcasts, but it's something I share to the players every time before they go on the ice. It's this. I want your mindset, that attitude of excellence, that champion's mindset. You're stepping out there, you're saying, you know what? I'm stepping on the ice and I'm winning every puck battle. I'm winning every shift. I'm winning every period. And gosh darn it, I'm winning every game. Now, does that mean you're going to win every puck battle, every shift, every period, and every game? No. I mean, it's there's no guarantees you're always going to win. But I promise you this, you're going to win a heck of a lot more than you lose, because you've got that attitude. And I say, when you go into those puck battles in the corners or in front of the net, your attitude is, that's my puck, baby. Don't you dare touch my puck. Can you guess where I stole that reference from? Like a great movie. I'll give you one more line from that movie. I'm a hockey player playing golf today. If you know what it is, drop it in the comments. I'm not going to give it away. But I heard a sequel's coming out. Ooh, a little teaser alert there. But anyway, that's your attitude. You're going in there because nobody touches my puck. And if that person beats you, you better go in there twice as hard the second time and say, no, you beat me the first time. You ain't beating me again. They beat you twice. You better go back in that third time supercharged with the attitude and passion and grit and resilience and determination that I'm not coming out of here unless I got that puck. And if that person owns you all night, what do you need to do? You need to work harder in practice. You need to own it. Man, that guy had my number all night. I lost every faceoff. I lost every puck battle. I lost every shift. I lost every period. What the heck is going on? And notice, I lost. And that's the beautiful thing about hockey. You already know this, but hockey players own it. I could have done better. I should have stepped up. I should have worked harder. And when the team wins, we work together. Our teamwork, our collectivity. We were the champions today. We won the battles in front of the net. We won the faceoffs. We played together, 5-man unit in all 3 zones. We won. That's a beautiful thing about hockey. Something you just don't hear in other sports. I mean, you got a lot of athletes with good integrity in other sports. I'm not bashing other sports, but hockey's the one. It's all about, when I screwed up, I take accountability. When the team wins, we won as a unit, as a team. Beautiful, huh? All right. So, hey, what's our 3 warrior confidence? Oh, our engagement question. Almost forgot about that. I've already asked you to drop something in the comment. If you remember the name of that movie I referenced, drop that in there. But our engagement question, and for our new listeners, I always like to ask an engagement question to get you thinking about during the show, but also to drop it in there to keep you engaged, but also as a sign of accountability. And the engagement question is, what area of your game, your life, do you think you can improve on? Now, if you can't think of an area, I think you probably could, but if you don't want to share, no big deal. Just give me a thumbs up that you're going to recognize that maybe I've got something to work on, and that's your commitment that you're going to work on it. So drop that in the comments. All right, warrior confidence tip number 1, control the controllables. Now, what does that mean? Well, it just means you can only control what you can control. Growing up, like I mentioned, I was always one of the smallest players on the ice. I generally wasn't one of the most talented either. I couldn't control the other things outside, well, of my control, right? I couldn't control if I couldn't control for a time being overlooked. I couldn't control what the referee was going to call. I couldn't control what the coach, if he was going to put me out there or not during the games. I couldn't control those things outside my purview, so to speak. But what I could control was how hard I chose to work in practice, how hard I chose to work when I got an opportunity to be on the ice. Now, being one of the smaller guys, I was often overlooked, undervalued, underappreciated. I mean, it's just how it is. And I know a lot of you out there listening and watching right now, or parents, if you've got an athlete like that, you feel like they're being overlooked, underappreciated, undervalued. They've got to get noticed. And I'm telling you, what coaches noticed is having that right attitude. Not walking around with your head down, all defeated, not throwing a pity party, not saying you're entitled, not throwing a fit because you're not getting ice time. Coaches deal with that nonsense all day long. What they notice, and in my book, boom, there it is, How to Get More Ice Time, which thanks to you was a new release Amazon bestseller. Yes. And if you haven't picked up a copy, go to Get More Ice Time. GetMoreIceTime.com. The direct link's in the description box. Just click on that, bang, go right to Amazon, pick up a copy. And if you picked up a copy, man, I'd love, if we've earned it, that 5-star review. And send me a testimonial. Let me know how the book's impacted you. And my goal is to get this book in as many pro shops as I possibly can and get it to the hockey community as a whole, because I believe in my heart, man, it's in the title, Get More Ice Time. It's like getting anything you want in life by doing the things that I'm talking about here in this podcast. But once again, back to, if you want the ice time, you've got to get noticed. And how you get noticed, and coaches play their favorites. It's true. So I debunk a myth, so to speak. Do coaches play their favorites? Absolutely, they do. They play the ones that give them the favored opportunity to win. Those that are out there that are making things happen. I talk about myself personally on all my setbacks and failures because I like to think I'm relatable. But now the number of athletes that I've worked with over the years that had that underdog fighter champion spirit. And I told them, how you get noticed is you're out there, and every time you're on the ice, you are making something happen. And the coach is like, man, I cannot not play this kid. Every time they're out there, they are creating opportunities. So yeah, they play their favorites, the ones that give them the favorite chance to win. Be that favorite, but control the controllables. You can control showing up with the right attitude. You can control showing up not just on time, but earlier than when the coach tells you to be there. You can control how much effort you put into each drill. Do you skate all the way to the line? Or do you think, well, the coach isn't looking, I can kind of let off a little bit? No. There's an old saying, when the coach isn't looking, that's when they're watching the most. Woo! Wham! There's another right hook. I'm just lighting you up today. So control the controllables, the things you can control. And it starts with that person in the mirror, you. Now, do I believe in you? You gosh darn right I do. I'm super proud of you for taking the time out to listen. And my goal is to empower you to believe in yourself. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who believes in you and who doesn't, but you still believe in you. But here's a start. I believe in you. Now, take it, look in the mirror, and tell yourself, I believe in you. You are somebody special. You've got a gift nobody else has, and you're going to do the work to stand out and get noticed because you want the ice time. You want the leadership roles. Now, I hear this a lot. And it's, my kid's doing all those things, and this coach this year is just a total jerk, and they truly only play their favorites, and politics are involved. Does that happen? Yeah, it does. Now, my dad never got involved. It just wasn't his thing. Matter of fact, he thought he didn't like hockey at all because it took me away from the farm and doing the chores and everything else. So, I mean, I always like to say, every time I was on the ice, it was a blessing to me because I knew at any given moment it could end. So I gave it all I had. So I played each shift and each practice as if it was my last because I thought any given time it could be. But Dad wasn't involved, and there were a lot of politics going on. I sat the bench a lot. Matter of fact, I thought about when I was about 11 years old, giving up on hockey. I was being bullied severely, riding the bench, and I started having pity parties. I didn't know any better. And then I had a coach that actually helped me believe in myself, and I talk about that a lot in other podcasts. I actually talk about it in both my books. So pick those up. You'll figure it out. But there are coaches that do that. But what I learned is you still stay true to you. You still do the work that others aren't willing to do, because sooner than later, You're going to get a coach that appreciates and respects you and sees that hard work. And those that are just coasting by because daddy's there doing whatever, it's almost like the mommies and daddies that get the kids the grades they didn't earn or the ice time because they're brown nosing the coach. That only lasts for a short bit of time. Now, during that time, it sucks. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm telling you, it wears off. The cream does rise to the top. So you keep working hard. You stay committed to you. You keep doing the things that I'm talking about here, that I talk about in my books, that I talk about in my programs, which I highly suggest you pick up a copy. The direct link is in the description box. Masterclass video is only $9. Come on, man. Pick that thing up. You do those things, you are going to stand out from the crowd. And why? Because so few are willing to do it. We have an entitled, everybody gets a trophy society. That stuff, man, some point in time, it catches up. And when it does, that's when you're going to step out and that's when you're going to shine. Can you do it? Yes. Are you going to do it? You gosh darn right you are, because I'm counting on you. Because I want you to count on you. All right. So number 1, control the controllables. Number 2, what is number 2? Effort is your edge. I mean, have I not been talking about that? I like to say your attitude is the fuel that pushes and drives your effort. So you go in there with that attitude of excellence. That attitude is, I'm getting better. I'm working harder. I know I'm made for more. I know I'm made for not sitting the bench. I'm made for being out on the ice. I know I'm made for a leadership role. I know I'm made to be on the power play and the penalty kill in crucial game situations. That's my attitude. Now, I've got that excitement. I've got that positive mental attitude that's going to drive and push my effort. Now, the effort is actually doing the work. The attitude's that first part. That's the fuel. But now you got to step on that fuel. And like I said, you're not taking shortcuts in practice. You're not bad-mouthing the coach. And parents, that's the worst thing you can do. Don't talk bad about the coach to your kid in the car. Oh, you should have played more in this coach and that coach. And I get it. It's easy to do. I'm not saying I've never done it. I've been on all sides here. As a player, as a parent, as a coach, as a referee now. I've seen it all. I used to chastise referees all the time. Now I'm like, ooh, I got a pretty tough job as coaches. And once again, there are bad coaches. There are bad referees. There's a lot of bad parents too. Don't be one. All right. You know, another thing I talk about in my books is all about communication. Communicate like a leader. And leaders confront problems or potential problems before they become problems. But all I know is you drive a wedge in between your kid and the coach. Man, now everybody's all on their own. Teams that succeed and build legacies and championships, collectively, everybody's working together. Remember, hockey is we. We work together. Coach are human beings. They're approachable. Talk to them. Don't talk about them. Good? If I talk about this, I keep referencing my book because there's so many great points in there, but I like to think so at least. Are there bad coaches? Yes. Are coaches that could benefit from watching this podcast and listening to this message and reading my books? Yeah, there's a lot of them. Will the ones that need it the most read it, listen to it, and watch this? Probably not. But I promise you, things always work out. Today with USA Hockey, they have done an incredible job. So shout out to USA Hockey, which, by the way, I got a lot of USA Hockey listeners, and I'm working on a partnership with them for my books and programs because I think it's that extra mindset tool that could really use for all angles, the parents, the players, the coaches, the teams, the organizations, the referees, right? Collectively working together for the common goal of what? Producing the best hockey players on and off the ice, the best leaders, the best role models, the best mentors, heroes, and champions. Once again, on and off the ice. So anyway, USA Hockey is doing an incredible job of what they put the coaches through nowadays and the referees as well. You have to go through all these modules and training sessions and workshops and spend a whole day on a Saturday as 8 hours of in-class training. And if you can't make that, they got it's like a 2-day, 4-hour Zoom session. But anyway, they have really stepped it up, and I'm really happy with what they've done. And they're continuously seeking ways to improve their coaching. So it's a heck of a lot different than it was back in the 70s and 80s. But once again, that does not mean there's not bad coaches out there. So if you got one right now, I'm sorry, I really am. Encourage them to listen to this or buy my book for them, and maybe they'll read it. But if not, you keep staying true to you. And next year, that may be the year you get the best coach of your life that really sees who you for the potential you have. And my goal with any athlete I ever work with is to help them get to that next level, whatever that is. You know, if they're a rec player, man, they want to make the JV squad. All right, that's what we're going to work toward. If they're JV, they want to make varsity. That's what we're going to work toward. If they're varsity, they want a leadership role. That's what we're going to work to. They want more ice time, or maybe they're a standout on the varsity team. Man, they're better than just D3. They want to play D2 or D1. They want to play juniors. I'm going to get you that next level because I'm going to give you that mindset, that warrior confidence, that attitude of excellence, that work ethic of an underdog, everything I'm talking about right now. Control the controllables. Effort is your secret weapon. You're willing to do that. But once again, I can talk all day long. It's kind of my specialty, if you will. According to my second grade teacher, Richie talks too much. She's right. I do. But it's kind of my gift. It's my empowerment. And listen, I'm talking to you right there in a way that I wish someone would have talked to me years ago. So I'm doing it. All right. So number one, control the controllables. Number two, what is number two? I just said it. Effort is your edge. Put in the effort. Skate all the way to the line. Don't take shortcuts. Man, that little extra you give in practice, that's going to be that extra fuel, that extra grit you need in that third period or in overtime. When your competitors are coasting during drills, not you, man. You're going to have that extra fuel in the tank. You're going to win that crucial puck battle. You're going to catch the coach's eye. You're going to get the ice time you want, which is developing a mindset of, I want anything. Then I've already established the attitude, the effort on how to do it. I got ice time. I'm going to apply that same message on how I get success in the real world, how I get a job, how I get a date, how I achieve top levels of success that others aren't willing to do by doing the little things that you're willing to do. Woohoo! That was a little bit of a tongue twister, wasn't it? All right. So, hey, before I get to Warrior Confidence, tip number 3, just a quick shout out, our How to Get More Ice Time program. Boom. It's, the direct link is in the description box. $9 for the 45-minute masterclass. It's Q&A video. To pick up the whole workbook and the quick start guidebook, it's a few dollars more. Check that out. But here's my new thing. Got a 6-week program that I'm working with hockey teams and organizations on, where we'll do 6 weeks, 1 hour a week Zoom calls with your team, and we'll customize what their area of improvement. Like this team I'm working with right now, they are actually a 10U team. It's of all ages, and customize it for 10U all the way up to 18U and everybody in between, even college division teams, division 1, 2, 3. Well, their thing is they are an elite team. They're like the top dogs, if you will, AA at the 10U level, but they're underperforming. They're having disconnect between the players, parents, and coaches. The work ethic isn't there. The attitude and respect for one another isn't there. So what are we working on? We're working on bringing them together. They've got the talent. Now it's working on the warrior confidence, developing that champion's mindset. And that all starts with unit together. And of course, can you guess with most organizations what the number one complaint is? Parents not getting along with the coaches, fighting over ice time, thinking their kid's entitled to this and entitled to that. It just breaks everything up. So anyway, reach out to me and we'll get a program set up for your team. Sound good? All right. Moving on. Warrior confidence tip number 3. What is tip number 3? There it is. Oh, yeah. Respect. RESPECT. Respect leads to results. It does. But that respect starts with, can you guess? Been talking about the whole time. Yeah, you right there. Respect starts with you. I feel personally there's so much disrespect in the world because there's so little self-respect. People not respecting themselves. And when you don't respect yourself, it's nearly impossible to respect anything or anyone else. So it starts with you. You got to respect you by having the discipline to do the things that you know you need to do, and do those things when you say you're going to do them, regardless if you feel like doing it or not. That's the difference between winners and, well, I hate to call anybody a loser, but there's winners and there's losers in the world, right? Those that succeed, those that reach the level of success, those that get the ice time, those that get the leadership roles, those that achieve success beyond their natural abilities. They respect themselves. They do it regardless how they feel. They respect themselves by owning their word. They say they're going to be there. They say they're going to do it. Gosh darn it, they're there and they do it. That's respect. And I tell you another thing about self-respect is when you respect yourself, You don't allow others to disrespect you. When I was bullied as a kid, even as an adult, I didn't have a whole lot of respect for myself because I allowed others to disrespect me. And when you don't respect yourself, you send out a signal. I don't respect myself. I'm a victim. I play the victim card. Nobody else is going to respect you, and you're setting yourself up for bullying. You carry the victim card, you're going to be treated like a victim. If you think you're entitled, boy, you're going to be disrespected because you got a whole new thing coming. Now, I say all this with love from my heart because I've been there, and I felt there was no way out. I couldn't understand why in the world am I always being bullied? Why am I not being respected? Because I didn't respect myself. When you respect yourself, those results start flowing in because you start doing the little extras. You start setting an example, and you start walking a little prouder, a little stronger, a little higher. Now, that doesn't mean others aren't going to try and take pop shots at you. No, because here's the thing. Somebody told me that when I started, I guess, gaining a little bit of a following and becoming, I don't know, I'm going to say this with the utmost humility, but, attracting a lot of followers and achieving a certain level of success, you start raising up there. And he said, look, think about this. Dogs that are down here howl at the moon because the moon is up there, because the moon is shining down a radiant light. The moon does not turn around and howl back to the dogs. So as the moon, and when I give this example, because when you start achieving levels of success, when you start standing out and earning that ice time in the leadership roles, you're going to have the dogs barking at you. They're going to be chirping. And here's something else a mentor told me. Sometimes the only taste of success that certain people get that aren't willing to work hard to do things you're willing to do, the only taste of success they ever experience is when they take a bite out of you. Let them bite away. Let them try. Let them howl at the moon. You're up there. They're down there. Now, it doesn't mean I'm the guy, I'm the greatest, I'm the moon, and I'm shining down. No. Don't become an egotistical maniac. Smack you around for that one. And it's a tough line. I mean, a difference between confidence and cockiness. There's a difference. Cockiness, nobody likes that. People appreciate confidence. That's warrior confidence, and that's the difference. When you're up there, you achieved a certain level of success, you believe in yourself, you become a hero in your own life. Now you need to be a mentor to help out others get there. That's how you truly become a success. You've achieved a certain level. Now you're going to help out others. I like to say when you're climbing that ladder of success and you've gotten up there, man, keep one hand on the rung, reach down, grab somebody else and pull them up, help those. But here's a cautionary tale. Never, ever, ever take both hands off that ladder to reach down because they'll pull you back down. They will. And it's hard as heck to get back out of that bucket. It's a story of crabs in the bucket. I've told this story hundreds of times. I'll give it to you real quick. If you ever went to the beach and got crabs and put them in the bucket, little sand crabs. Now, if those crabs collectively work together and built a little crab ladder on top of one another, they get to the top of the bucket. The one little crab would have his little pincher hanging on the top of the bucket. Reach down, grab a crab, pull them out. Reach down, grab a crab, pull them out. And they'd all be free. Yes, it's teamwork, working together. But that's not the way it works. One little ambitious crab says, hey, come on, let's build this crab ladder. Let's get the heck out of here. Freedom, baby. Let's go. The other crab's like, oh, no, we're safe right here. This is scary out there. We're safe. And that little crab says, man, we're going to get the heck out of here. Come on. That ambitious little crab that has that attitude of excellence, right? They're going to do this thing. Well, they start trying to climb out of that bucket. The other crab's like, get your butt back down here. Don't you go anywhere. No, man, we're getting out of here. And that crab's persistent. They'll rip his little pinchers off and kill him. That's the story of life. Most people, and it's an unfortunate reality, if your group of influence is trying to hold you back from being the hero, leader, champion, mentor you were born to be, you need a new group of influences. They will. So climb that ladder. Let them take a bite out of you. Let them howl at you. You reach down and help those that want help. And I promise there's some out there, but the majority of them, I'm not saying leave them behind, but you can't save those that aren't willing to do a little bit extra to help and save themselves. It doesn't mean you're better than anybody else, but you got one life. It's your life. Live your life to the fullest. Be the hero, the leader, the champion, the mentor that you were born to be. Don't let anybody pull you back down. Got it? Got it? All right. Hey, quick review. The 3, control the controllables. Number 1. Number 2, effort is your edge. And number 3, respect leads to results. Now, can you do these things? Absolutely. Are you going to do these things? Please, I hope you are. Like I said, I believe in you. So to commit to it, in the comment section, I want you to put in there, I am doing these things. Or just give me a big muscle emoji or a Stanley Cup. Something to say that you're willing to do it. You're committed to doing it. And the second, if you found value in this message, please share this with someone else that you know could benefit from this message and bring value to them. That's how you help. You're hanging on that ladder of success. You've learned a little bit. You're going to help somebody else. Share this with them. And by all means, if you haven't picked up a copy of my book or books, please do so. And if you have, and we've earned that 5-star review, whether that be this podcast, we've earned a 5-star review, please give it to us. 5-star review on the books on Amazon, please give that to us. It helps rate us higher in the search engines and the results. And our YouTube channel, we're growing, baby. But like, subscribe, ring that bell so you're notified. And I know most teenagers don't listen to podcasts like this. But gosh darn, if you found value and you know they could benefit, I know they could benefit, right? Same message I talked to the players about in the locker room. If you know they could benefit, play this thing for them in the car, to and from games. Play it more than once. And I'll break this thing up in little bitty segments, so there'll be little shorts coming out. So follow online, Real Rich Grogan, across all social media platforms. I'll break it up in little shorts. So we got the shorts on YouTube. We got the reels on, Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And I don't know about TikTok. I've been throwing things up there for months now. But anyway, if TikTok's still up, we'll be on there too. The biggest thing is the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, ring that bell. Podcast platforms, make sure you subscribe. 5-star review. Like I said, if we've earned it, I certainly appreciate it. And that's it, man. You can do it. I believe in you. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love with the world. But most importantly, please be the gift that you were born to be and live the life you were born to live. I can't wait to read your comments, and I can't wait to talk to you again real soon. God bless everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for being a part of the Warrior Confidence Unleashed podcast. I am truly grateful for your time. If you found value in this message, please kindly share it with someone else who could also benefit from it, especially teenagers and adult athletes and leaders who are serious about getting noticed, getting more playing time, and leadership roles. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share your comments with us. And we truly appreciate your 5-star reviews, as that helps spread the message even further. Stay connected with us throughout the week on all social media platforms at Real Rich Grogan. And visit our website at warriorconfidence.com for access to all our programs and books. The links are in the description box. Thank you again for your time, and I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day. God bless. Parents, are you frustrated seeing your superstars sit on the bench, getting overlooked and passed over for ice time and leadership roles? I personally know that heartbreaking pain. Well, that frustration ends today. Introducing our How to Get More Ice Time program, the amazing one-of-a-kind program for youth and teenage hockey players that helps them get what they want most, more playing time and more opportunities. And today, exclusive offer, we're selling this thing for only $9. $9. It's a no-brainer. But you got to act now, because this offer won't last. And if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. So go to warriorconfidence.com. That's warriorconfidence.com, or simply click on the link in the description box. Buy the program today and help your child get what they want most, more ice time.